It says you're live, and I guess I am live. Oh, I am live. So how's it going, guys? This is Jared Bear, Jared Fuller. Thanks for stopping by and joining me for this edition of the Sunday Video Update. Joining me off camera this week, and probably going to be up and leaving in a little bit, is my dad.
Hey.
Is my peppy. We got company right now. They're out in the kitchen. So I hope you all had a wonderful week. My week was pretty good. Visited with some family and friends and keeping in touch through text message and email and all that good stuff. Was there anything you wanted to add, Dad? How was your week?
My week went pretty good.
Good.
Except for my truck.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was going to mention in this week's Sunday video. Dad had gotten some bad gas at a local gas station, and not giving any names, but I think there's water in the gas, and now his truck is not running. So now we're reduced down to one vehicle, which is my vehicle. And my vehicle also needs work. I found out that I need an outer tie rod end and a lower control arm. So as soon as I get into some extra money, I'm able to get my van repaired, and we'll get that out of the way. I can't help but notice that looks like I got cut or something right there. But so we're both having vehicle issues at the moment. And so with dad's truck, he just got bad gas, and now he can't drive it, unfortunately. And with me, it's just typical wear and tear maintenance. And it's been long coming. So we're both kind of having that that trouble with the vehicles at the moment. Yeah, we're waiting for the stimulus checks that the government said we were supposed to get this weekend, and haven't received mine yet. None of us have, I don't think. None of us have received our stimulus checks. But other than that, the week's been great. I visited with some cousins of mine yesterday. My cousin Sammy, he's only, I think, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And he came up to me, and he was wearing his, what do you call that? Now I'm bleeding. Uh-oh. I'm bleeding. On live TV. Oh, boy. He was wearing his Spider-Man costume, his getup, and he come and sat on my lap, and he says, "Jared," I said, "What's wrong, buddy? What's up?" He says, he put up his hand like this, and he says, "I can't make a spider web." And he did that little thing with his hands. It was cute. I said, "Well, I can't make a spider web either, man. So it looks like we're both in trouble here." But it was a nice visit, and I had a wonderful time. And I talked with my mom. She had surgery on Wednesday, and she's doing okay. She's home resting. She had to have some things taken care of, and she's home. She's resting. She's doing well. You know what? Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Dad. Hello. I don't think he can hear me.
Yeah.
Is there a Band-Aid out there?
A Band-Aid?
Yeah, I'm bleeding on my forehead. Or, no, never mind a Band-Aid, Dad. Just bring in a piece of toilet paper. I'll just wipe it off. I don't want to gross anybody out who's watching this, because I know some people are grossed out by blood. But if we don't have any Band-Aids, Dad, you can just bring in a piece of toilet paper. That'd be fine. That'd work. But my week was actually really good. And so I just put up a daily rant recording briefly before I went live. And I'm not going to give away my position all that much, but it's about a particular troll who's been giving me shit for a long time. And you people need to just think about things and be aware of what you're listening to and where you're getting your information from. You got to consider the source on a lot of things, because people like to lie on Facebook. They like to deceive people into thinking that what they're saying is true when it's not. Or you can just get a piece of toilet paper. I ain't got to put this whole Band-Aid on. But you really got to be mindful and think about what you're reading and what you're, inundating yourself with on social media, because you can manipulate people into thinking things that aren't true. And that's been proven more than enough times. So that's where we're at with that. That's what the Daily Rant is about. And there will be more content to come on this channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please do so. So everything here is going well. I'm just taking it easy. I'm sipping on some iced tea, and I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. I usually like to go for at least an hour. That's how long I like to do the Sunday video updates. Speaking of time, I hope you all remembered to set your clocks ahead an hour. A lot of people had forgotten. We have, of course, our microwave and our coffee pot where you have to manually set it ahead an hour. And so I had to do that this morning. I was supposed to do it before I went to bed. But yeah, set your clocks ahead an hour. I hope you remembered to do that. And I wanted to do a special shout out to my cousin Destiny. We call her Bug Eater. I'm going to wipe the blood off my forehead here real quick. Yeah. But a shout out to my cousin Destiny. Shout out to my buddy Juan in Texas and Joe in Kansas, and pretty much everywhere, few and far between, all of you who are watching. So thanks for stopping by and listening to some things I have to talk about. So this is an everyday, or not an everyday, but an every week thing that I like to do, and I apologize for doing this on live TV. It's a little gross, I know. But I will definitely have to get some work done in my van pretty soon. As soon as I get the stimulus check, I'll be all set and I'll be back on the road again. And so we'll take care of that. I heard that some people are already getting their stimulus checks. I'm not exactly sure yet. Or I'm not exactly sure how true it is, but some people, what I've heard, they're already getting their stimulus checks. In other states, like out in, I think they said California, some people are getting their stimulus checks already, but I haven't got mine yet. Hopefully soon. Everything here, like I said, everything else here is good. My mom had to go in for surgery on Wednesday to have some things cut out. I don't want to be too specific or get into too much detail about that, but she was at Mid-Michigan Health in Midland, where she had to have some minor operations done. She's home resting, and she actually called me when she was in recovery, and she says, "Son, this is your mother." And I said, "I know who it is, Mom. It comes up on my caller ID. I got you programmed on my phone." And she says, "I want you to know how much I love you." I said, "And I love you, Mom." I said, "You get some rest and let nature run its course and heal up." And she says, "I just wanted to hear your voice. Mom loves you." I said, "I love you too." And then we hung up. It wasn't a very long phone call because we usually talk for, I don't know, 2-3 hours at a time on the phone. But so she's doing okay as far as I know. I haven't spoken with her recently, not since she called me when she was on the anesthetic. But she's doing pretty good. She's doing all right. Dad, he keeps coming in and out because we've got company. It's my brother's here. And so we are chilling. I made taco salad this week, which most people in this house, well, there's only 2 who live here other than myself. I was getting requests for my taco salad, so I made taco salad twice this week. I usually make it, I don't know, once a week or whatever if I've got the stuff to make it. But I made it twice this week. I wanted to use up the dressings and things like that. So that's that. My taco salad gets eaten up quicker than I can turn my head because it is a fan favorite in this house. So, but anyway, moving on to other things. So I don't know exactly how many people on average watch my videos, but to give everyone a good idea of how I'm doing, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing okay, doing all right. For the most part, I would say that if I had to, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably have to give it an 8. I'm not doing fantastic. I'm not doing super, but I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there for the most part. And so, but I stay busy, I stay active, and I'm hoping that we get that stimulus check soon, so that way I can get some repairs done on my van, the normal wear and tear and the maintenance and all that good stuff. There's a buddy of mine who owns a shop in Owasso, and he looked at it for free, because he knows who I am. I did what do you call it? A First Amendment audit. I couldn't think of the word. I did a First Amendment audit in Owasso last week, and he recognized who I was. I was standing in the street, and he came up, and he was explaining, because some lady went berserk because a buddy of mine and I were filming, and that's a Band-Aid.
You need it?
No. Buddy of mine, hello, Dad. A buddy of mine and I were filming on a public sidewalk, and she flipped out, and the gentleman had come up and explained to her they're exercising their First Amendment rights, which is filming in public, and I don't know if she had taken that into consideration, but he was a really nice guy. And I said, well, I'm not out here trying to scare people or freak anyone out. I'm just exercising my rights. And he says, it's cool. He gave me a fist bump, but I didn't know until just recently, last week, that he owns a garage. He owns a shop where he fixes cars. So he should recognize my van. But yeah, I had to take it in there, and he was going to look at it for me, which he did. It was him and his wife. And he's given me a pretty good deal. All I have to do is just go buy the part. It needs the outer tie rod end and the lower control arm. The lower control arm is what's going to cost me, because it comes with the ball joint. For my mechanic friends who are watching this, it comes with the ball joint, so that's why it costs so much. The outer tie rod end, I've been calling around to the different shops, and I would say between 20 and 30 bucks at the most. So the outer tie rod end is not that expensive. It's the ball joint, the control arm, that's the most expensive. And by the way, before I forget, if I decide to just cut out without warning, if I lose live stream, because it looks like I'm having a little bit of issue with my live stream, I'm not really moving in real time like I usually do. But if for some reason this just vanishes off of the live stream, it's because I've been having issues with my web browsers crashing. And so it has nothing to do with your phone. It has nothing to do with anything like that. It's on my end. So far, so good. So I don't want to jinx myself if it comes to that, and I hope it doesn't. But just as a fair warning, and I don't know if it's cutting in and out the live stream. If you guys can, you can probably hear me, but I'm probably cutting in and out. So I do apologize for that. A lot of it has to do with my internet connection. And, other than that, I shouldn't have any issues with that, but we'll see. We will definitely see. Back to what I was talking about, and I don't want to use up the whole Sunday video update to talk about this, but the Daily Rant recording that I had just recently uploaded to my channel has to do with a troll who's been giving me shit now for a very long time. And the thing is that they don't use their actual name. None of them ever do. They have the audacity to call people cowards when in fact they're the ones who are acting cowardly by using fake names. And I'm sure many of you who are watching this, whether you're my friend or you're one of my haters, one of my, smear Jared Fuller kind of people, that's what that Daily Rant is about. It's the person who's fostering and making shit up. They are the one that I'm talking about. And I'm sure there's plenty more trolls out there who are just that much of cowards where they can't come forward, give their actual identity, and say, well, I'm going to stand behind what I say. Because anybody who wants to convince you of something, they come up with this claim, and wow, they come up with a claim, and they want to foster this to other people. They want to make it sound convincing. Well, why not put a face with the claim? Why not do that? Why do you have to be a coward and go behind people's backs and make up phony names and talk shit about people you don't like? I'll just come to my YouTube channel and say all the fucking bullshit I want about anybody I want. So I don't have to hide behind a fake name to do that. So just listen to the daily rant, consider some of the things I have to say, and because it should make sense to anyone who's actually reasonable and they're not just, accepting things at face value. I wish they would quiet down out there. But that's how that goes. It's just people who have nothing better to do and they like to cause problems for everyone else. So I'm still bleeding. But anyway, and I do apologize for I don't know what happened there. I don't know what's going on with that. I've never bled on live television before. Ooh. But everything here, other than that, guys, everything here has been pretty good. I keep in touch with friends and family, and well, mainly friends that I consider family. Other than that, everything has been going pretty good. It's been going fairly well. Most of the time I just keep to myself. Like the weather's been nice. It was like 70 degrees on Wednesday. And this week they're talking about rain and snow mix, I think, or maybe just rain. But it's supposed to be in the 40s and 50s, which is nice because spring is actually coming this Saturday. I'm sorry, this Saturday, according to the calendar. Saturday, March 20th is the official first day of spring. The what do they call that? The vernal equinox, I think. Yes, the vernal equinox, now that I remember. So spring officially begins on Saturday, March 20th, this coming Saturday. So I am definitely looking forward to that. I can't wait. I am so sick and tired of this cold weather. I've seen all the snow I want to see. Out in Colorado, I heard some folks in Colorado are getting dumped down with like really heavy duty snow, like several feet of snow. I have some friends who live in Oklahoma and they live in Colorado and they live in the like out that way out by Texas and those areas. And I also heard that there was a massive tornado that touched down in Texas. So for my Texan friends out there who are watching this, my buddy Juan and all my other friends in Texas, I hope you're safe. I hope you're doing okay. And I hope that you were prepared for the worst of the worst. So, but yeah, Colorado, I think it was Colorado and Oklahoma. Maybe it was just Colorado. If I'm trying to remember. They got several feet of snow. And I found out I got some other bit of good news from a friend of mine I've known since he was a baby, since he was in diapers. He used to be my next door neighbor. His grandmother used to live next door, and he lived there. He was being raised by his grandmother when he was just a toddler, and I've known him all of his life. He lives out in the Grand Rapids area now, and I found out that he is going to be a father, and he's going to be marrying the girl that he impregnated. So congratulations to my friend. I'm not going to mention a name because I don't need people bum rushing and saying, oh, that Jared Fuller, whatever. But yeah, congratulations to my friend. I will definitely show this clip to my friend because he knows who he is and I know who he is, and that's all that matters. I'm proud of him. I'm happy that he found someone that he wants to spend the rest of his life with, and they're going to have a baby. So congratulations to my friend. Very cool. And for those of you, I don't know how many of you are watching this, but if you're watching this and you have my cell phone number, could you text me to let me know if my live stream is crackling, if it's cutting out, or if it's coming in clear? Because I have issues with the internet for some reason is really slow, and I just want to make sure that you guys can see and hear me okay. Or I could just ask Amy like I did last week. But then there would be an echo and there's a delay on the phones. So if you're watching this, let me know. Send me a text and let me know if you can hear me and if I'm coming through okay, because I can see myself moving on screen, but I'm kind of not moving in real time. I'm like inching when I move. So if you could let me know, I'd appreciate it. So what I have planned for this week, well, if I get my stimulus check like they said we were supposed to get, I'm going to be fixing my van. I'm going to go out and buy the parts that I need, and then I'm going to pay someone to put the parts on. So the labor alone is going to set me back. Maybe, depending on who I take it to. And depending where I buy the parts, like the lower control arm, it comes with the ball joint, so that's why it's so expensive. But depending on where I get it, Dad's been calling around, and depending where I get it, I could get it cheaper somewhere else. I don't know. And like I said, then it comes down to who's going to charge me, if they're going to be reasonable in charging me to put the parts on. So I'm going to have to figure all that out. I have to sort that out and figure out what I'm going to do. Yeah. But I really need a dependable vehicle, and Dad, with his situation with his truck, it sucks. He got some bad gas. I guess it has some water in it. Now when he had like a glass mason jar, and he put some gas into it, and he poured a little bit of it on the ground in our driveway out here, and he had taken a piece of cardboard, and he lit it on fire. He took a cigarette lighter, he lit the piece of cardboard on fire, and when he touched it to the ground, it didn't go poof like it should, as you would expect with gasoline. It didn't react in the way that it should have. And that's when Dad determined that there was potentially some water in the gasoline. So that's more or less what it is, I would assume. But now he can't drive his truck, which is really shitty, because now, like I said, we're reduced to one vehicle, and the one vehicle, being my vehicle, needs repairs itself. So as soon as I get my stimulus check, then I'll go out and buy the parts and pay someone to put it on. But I really need a vehicle. I need transportation like really bad. And I've noticed that a lot of states are lifting restrictions on wearing masks. A lot of people are happy about that. A lot of people not so much. It's kind of, I don't know, half and half, I would say. Most people are happy, most people aren't. I would err on the side of caution, like when it comes to the mask wearing situation. I would still, like if you feel as if you're not ready to go out in public without a mask, then my advice to you would be to go by your gut feeling. However, if you feel that you are ready to venture back out into the public without your mask, go for it. It's all, I guess it has to do with just how, the feeling that people have. But we have to also go by the evidence, the scientific data. And I think the governors have, or at least our governor has been doing a pretty good job at that for the most part. But gradually we're starting to reopen things here in Michigan. And so it's really nice to actually get some kind of normalcy back. But at the same time, we're also in the middle of a pandemic. And, some people, although the governor says that, hey, you can go out without the mask, or if you're vaccinated, you can go out without the mask or whatever. You have to maintain. It's very confusing. It's all very confusing, because I don't even think they're very sure about what's right and what's not. And we run into all kinds of confusion, and I don't know what else to say about that other than, if you feel like you don't need the mask because they're really not pushing it anymore in some states, if you don't feel like you need it, then okay. But if you feel like you should still wear it, then I would just go by gut instinct. I still wear mine. I mean, when I go out to the store, I'll put my mask on. If I go to Frank's Supermarket, or if I go to the gas station or anywhere like that, I still put the mask on. Now, when I go to, like, say, a post office, federal property, if they have it posted where it's required, then of course I have to follow the rule. But if they say it's recommended, then I'm kind of more lax about it. Well, if it's recommended, then I guess I really don't need to wear it then. But then I run into issues where at some post offices you have on the front door, the sign says required, and then the sign inside of the building says recommended, or you get it the other way around. So it's like, well, which sign do I go by? There's a confusion there. There's a contradiction, and we want to correct that and make sure we get it right. I always try to follow the rules. I'm not trying to break any rules, but I encourage people to follow the rules and go by evidence and go by what's being presented. But the government, I mean, they're allowing things to reopen. They're allowing people to gather and not exercise social distancing or wear the mask. It's all very confusing to me. So I don't want to, delve into that too much because I don't want to confuse a lot of people. I don't want to confuse anybody. But it is confusing when you try to analyze, like, where's the government going with this? I wish they would just talk quieter. But the thing is they 1 minute tell you that you can, and then the next minute tell you that you can't. So who knows? But I still wear the mask just to be safe. And when I go out to Billy's out in Clio for the Monday flashback, I always walk in with the mask on. And then when I'm seated, I just kind of lower the mask so that way the waitresses know what I want if I want to order a drink or food or anything like that. So, but anyway, so if I get the stimulus check this week, I know what my plans are going to be. What's that? What's that?
Remember that night that we was there and they won that money?
What night?
That at back 40?
Yeah.
It was for $750.
Oh, $750.
5 of them went in, $5 a piece.
Right.
And so the one person taking the ticket out,
right.
Cash it,
They gotta quiet down.
And then they're gonna split the money between.
Oh, I gotcha.
Hey, that's cool.
Well, yeah, because what happened, what Dad's talking about is we were at the back 40 last week, and someone had hit big on Club Keno, and they bet $2 a whack with the kicker. Those of you who are familiar with the Club Keno game from the Michigan Lottery, they bet $2 a whack with the kicker, and the kicker come up 5 times. So they won a total of what Dad just said, $750. And when they scan the ticket in the scanner, it says that you have to go to a lottery claims office because anything over 600, you have to go to, there's a lottery claims office in Saginaw, which I've actually pointed out in one of my videos when I was with Dad and I was filming when we were driving through Saginaw, or for like tens of thousands of dollars, I believe. And I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure for the larger amounts, like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, of course, hundreds of thousands, but I think tens of thousands is the minimum. You have to go to Lansing to the main lottery headquarters to get the money. But it was really something. We went up there on the 11th because it was March 11th. It was 2 years ago on March 11th that my Uncle Rick passed away. And we went up there, had a beer, and it was a group of people. They all went in on Club Keno, and they hit big. And when they scanned the ticket, it just said, please go to a lottery claim office. So right then and there, I knew they hit a substantial amount of money. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I was at Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino in Standish, and a guy won $9,000 on a slot machine. And it was what the guy was sitting there, and on the machine it said hand pay $9,000. And I said, well, you won $9,000? He says, yeah. He says, I'm down 1,000. Down 1,000? What the fuck? That, like, you, what are you going to do? $10,000? I would never take that kind of money to a casino. No way. However, he said he was down 1,000, so he might not have had 10,000. He could have only taken $2,000, which I wouldn't even take $2,000. What he could have meant by that too, because it's ambiguous. He could have taken $2,000 and lost 1,000, and when he stuck the other 1,000 in, he won the $9,000. Maybe that's what he meant. I don't know. But $9,000, I mean, that's a lot of money. And with casinos, because the casinos are on Indian reservations. So according to my cousin Matt, and I don't know how true this is, but I'll have to look it up myself. Sorry, Matt. Anything under you can take money without being taxed. Anything up to, I think they said, what did Matt say? $1,199. Anything beyond that, they tax you. They'll tax you anything beyond $1,199. So, which I guess makes sense, because I remember going to the casino in Mount Pleasant at Soaring Eagle Casino. This was at the small casino called the Slot Palace. For those of you who are familiar with Soaring Eagle Casino, I was at the Slot Palace, I'd say maybe 10 years ago. And I went up to, the red, white, and blue double. It was a red, white, and blue double sevens. It had the double star with the red, white, and blue sevens. And they were dollar machines, and I stuck $100 bill in it. And I'm trying to remember what did I hit. It was white seven double star. That was $800 right then and there. And I'm just standing there like, holy motherfucker, I just won $800. And Dad says, you won $800? I said, right here. And then I went back. We went back the following day, and I won another 400. So I hit 3 white sevens for $400. And it's like, hell yeah, I'm on a roll. So between the first night and the second night, I won $1,200. It was cool. It was nice. It was a lot of fun. And I don't remember what I spent it on. I don't remember what I spent it on, but I had fun, and I had gotten very lucky, and I bet you $20 I won't do that again. But it was a lot of fun. I remember, because I also like to play the quarter machines, the quarter slot machines. They're called Sizzling 7. And I remember I went into it was the same casino, the Slot Palace, and they got, like, I think maybe 5 or 6 machines on one side and about 5 or 6 machines on another side. And there's a progressive jackpot. So all the machines are wired into this progressive jackpot. You're allowed to play 2 machines. So I was sitting at the machine on the end, and then I was sitting I had money in the machine next to it. I hit the Sizzling 7 jackpot on this machine here, the one I was sitting at. And just as they were coming out to pay me, so it was like maybe $250, $260. So when as they were coming out to pay me, I hit the button over here, and it come up Sizzler, Sizzler, Sizzler. And there was a lady sitting down at the far end of the machines, and she looked at me like, what the fuck? You're winning all these jackpots? It's my money. And the rules are you can play up to 2 machines. And I met the requirements, I met the rules, and I took home some good money. So there was another $250. So I won about $500 altogether, which was a good night. I told my dad, I said, I'm cashing out. I'm done playing, or I'll just play whatever's the rest of what's left in the machine, which I don't think I did. I think I cashed out. And so I came home with a good amount of money that night, and I have not been lucky with any of that gambling stuff anymore. Haven't for a long time. I don't go to the casino as often. I go up there very rarely, but I just don't go up there as much as I used to, because I just like money too much, and I don't want to risk money when I could be using it for other things. So, and you have to know when to stop. Like if you have a certain limit that you want to spend when you go to the casino, the goal is if, okay, I'm going to spend X amount of money, and if I lose that amount, because my limit is $100. If I lose that $100, I am done. I leave. I walk out. But if I'm hitting off that $100, it's like, well, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to, kind of push my luck a little bit, and I try to walk out with more than what I walked in with, which would be the $100. But if not, I'll try to walk out with, at least $100 in my pocket, or I just go home empty-handed if I lose the $100 straight across. But $100 is my limit. Now with Club Keno, the Michigan Lottery, I play about $5. I'll play $1 for 5 draws of my 5 numbers, and I'm either going to win or I'm not, which I usually don't win. But then maybe 5, 10, 20 games later, all 5 of my numbers come up. And it's really, really just agitating. It's frustrating. And I hate it when they pull that shit on me. So that's where my limit is. I have certain specific limits when I gamble. I don't like to spend a lot. I don't go hog wild. Some people in my family, they like to spend hundreds of dollars at a time, which I find to be financial suicide, because there is no way I would spend more than $100 at a casino. $100 is my limit, man. If I don't win, I'm done. I go home. But yeah, I know what my limits are. I have control, just like with drinking. I drink beer. I get feeling tipsy, and if I get too drunk to where I can't walk, I tell Dad, well, I'm done. Take my keys. I'm done. I don't want to drink anymore, and then I'm good for the night. But that's you got to know what your limits are on anything in life, whether it be gambling, drinking, whatever. You just got to know what your limits are. So, but anyway, they don't care. They just talk loud. It's annoying. But so I don't know what else is happening this weekend. Dad mentioned something about, well, when you get the stimulus check, let's go to the casino. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go to the casino. I actually had other plans other than fixing my van. I actually had other plans with the money. I don't know. I might want to do a little bit of traveling. I don't know. I like to travel. Even if I have to put $40, $50 in the van for gas, I'll just get in the van and go. Take off, go on a little staycation, as they call it. There's one place I've never been to. I've been close by it, never been to it. It's a city in northwestern Lower Michigan. It's called Traverse City. I have never been to Traverse City. I've been to Cadillac. I've been to I don't have any clue. I've been to Cadillac. I've been to where else? I've been to Grayling. I've been to Gaylord. I've been to Baldwin, Grand Rapids. I've never been to Traverse City. Never been there. But that might be a place I go sometime this summer, or maybe even in the late spring. I might just hop in the van and go. I know how to get to Traverse. Dad, have you been to Traverse City before? What's that? Have you been to Traverse City before? Yeah. I have never been there before. Huh? The Looney Farm. Well, only you would know, right? Well, I know they grow cherries in Traverse City. They call it the cherry capital of the world. Munger, yeah. Over by Bay City, they grow potatoes. They have the potato fest. I used to go there. Yeah. Back from there to up by over on the other side of Mount Rose. Yeah. Expressway. In Montrose, they have the Blueberry Festival too, and in Shepherd, Michigan, they have the Maple Syrup Festival. We celebrate food here in Michigan. I don't know. That's a little, but we produce it here. Of course, Battle Creek is home of Kellogg's cereal. And Chelsea, Michigan, if you're familiar with Jiffy Mix, where you can make muffins and things like that. Jiffy Mix is in Chelsea, Michigan, which is about 10 minutes from Ann Arbor. And of course, we have General Motors, and we have what else do we have? We have General Motors and Kellogg's, and we make Verner's ginger ale, Faygo Cola. We are known for a lot of things and a lot of famous people too, like Ted Nugent, Madonna, Stevie Wonder, let's see, Aretha Franklin, all the Motown groups, Smokey Robinson. A lot of them are, they're actually born out of state, and then when they became famous, they just signed up with the Motown record label. And that's another place I want to check out too when everything, really opens up. I want to check out Hitsville, USA. I want to go to the Motown Museum in Detroit because I've never been there. I've been to Detroit numerous times. I've been to Detroit. I've been right in downtown Detroit. But I would like to go to the Motown Museum. I'm really going to make the most out of this year and just go different places. And hopefully if they reopen everything, then I would really like to check some things out. I enjoy Muskegon. I love going to Muskegon out to the lake. Lake Michigan is it's one of my favorite places to go. I might even go to the Bay City State Recreational Area where, I think you have to pay to get in. Unless you have the recreation sticker on your license, then you can just get in. It's free access, but that means you have to pay extra on your tag renewals and stuff like that. But the Bay City State Recreation Area is it's the opening where the Saginaw Bay is. Like if you go out to the Bay City State Recreation Area, you can get a good view of the bay, which the Saginaw Bay empties into Lake Huron. And it looks like it goes on forever and ever and ever to the end of time, but it actually doesn't. It dead ends at some point. I think it goes to, where does it end up? It goes to Canada. I think it touches Canada at some point because we have Lake Ontario and Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Michigan. Those are the 5 Great Lakes. And one easy way to remember that, which I pointed out on another video, a way of remembering the 5 Great Lakes is the acronym HOMES, HOMES. So you've got Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. So if that ever comes up in a test or a quiz, children in school, that's how you memorize the 5 Great Lakes. Use the acronym called HOMES, and that'll set you straight. HOMES. So that's how you do that. It had taken me a while to figure it out, but it's like, well, there's 5 Great Lakes that I know of, but what's the how do I remember this? Like, is there a better way to remember this? And one of my geography teachers says, yeah, HOMES. And I said, what? HOMES? What are you talking about? She says, yeah, the acronym HOMES, HOMES, Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. Oh, okay. I didn't think of that, and she says, yep, if you remember that, you're good to go. So that'll be the easiest part of the test that you'll remember. When you're quizzed on it, you'll remember the acronym. So I just never thought of that before, but it's like, something else about Michigan that is really fucking cool. I enjoy it. I love being a Michigander. There's just so much to see and do here. So, and there's friends of mine who live in the Upper Peninsula that I would love to go see again. I would love to go up there and just spend a weekend with them. The Upper Peninsula is like a whole different world up there. If you're not from the Upper Peninsula, if you've never been there before, or if you're not originally from the UP, I got to tell you, the Upper Peninsula is extravagant. It is amazing. I love the Upper Peninsula. Anywho, the Upper Peninsula it's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see in your life. If you like pine trees, the Upper Peninsula is filled with pine trees. filled with pine trees, like up to the wazoo filled with pine trees. We are very well known for pine trees, Michigan pine, that is. In the Upper Peninsula, you go down Highway 2 from St. Ignace all the way across, you'll see nothing but pine trees. It is gorgeous up there. And they have mines up there. Jesus Christ. They have mines up there, like up by Iron Mountain, where they allow people to go in. You get on this little bench. It's like a train. It's on actual railroad tracks, and you go deep inside the mines, and you have to wear a jacket because it gets really cold. So they tell you to wear a jacket, and it's really dark. Without light, you would get lost. You would get absolutely lost in the mines. And it's really fun though. It's really cool when you're riding on the train and you go inside, and your back is up against like the back of the it's like a bench, and then you just lean against it, and when you go through, you can see the sulfur dripping off the walls inside of the mines. It's really cool. It's really cool to see, and it's quite the experience. I enjoyed it. I went up there with some friends of mine who live not far from there, and it was awesome. It was just a wonderful time. Hopefully, like I said, if I play my cards right and I spend my money wisely and I get my van fixed, I will be doing some state traveling, some staycations. So I'm looking forward to it. I really don't want to sit around here and sulk when the weather's nice and there's things to do, and I'm not going to let the pandemic get me down. And I know that happened, because this pandemic's been going on for a year, and I know a lot of people are, they're depressed because the pandemic has taken away so much of our freedoms to do things. And that's really what's going on. Is a lot of our things have been canceled and discontinued because of the pandemic, and we're just sick and tired of sitting around. We just want to get out and do shit. Who wants to sit around? I don't. I love getting out and doing stuff, although I'm allergic to the sun, but I still like to get out, and I love to see things. I love to see the trees and the rivers and the streams, because we don't have mountains here in Michigan, but we have this extravagant, exquisite taste of scenery here. We have what's called the Pictured Rocks in Michigan, which is in the Upper Peninsula, and it is on the shore of Lake Superior. So that's one place I would definitely love to check out, and it just to get away. Some cousins of mine were already at the Pictured Rocks, and they said that you have to drive really slow. And before I forget, there's another place I'd like to visit, and it is called Mackinac Island. You've probably heard of that before. And as you can see, I'm wearing my 906 Upper Peninsula shirt. That is the area code for the entire Upper Peninsula, Michigan. But Mackinac Island, there's no vehicles allowed. You can only ride a bicycle or, I think, horse and buggy. And the only way you can get there is if you take a ferry. And I've been on a ferry before. I was down in Louisiana hanging out with some friends of mine, and we went on a ferry. And it was the first time I'd ever been on a ferry in my life. And I told her, I said, we have ferries back home in Michigan. She says, really? I said, oh, yeah, the lakes, the Great Lakes. She says, oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. But we have ferries here in Michigan, and, you can, like actual, you put your car on the ferry and you can just go across. But on Mackinac Island, they don't allow vehicles, which is really interesting, because the highway, the road on Mackinac Island, which circles all the way around the island, is in fact a state highway. It's M185, but you can only use a horse and buggy or bicycle. That's it. You can't take a vehicle on Mackinac Island. There's a lot of walking. And there's a lot of sightseeing. And that's one place I'd like to check out. And I do apologize for all of the interruptions and distractions. People just have no respect. But yeah, I can't wait to just get in the van and go. Just wherever the road takes me is where I end up. Um, I love just being out. I love walking in the woods. Like there's a park nearby. It's called Ringwood Forest. It's just right up the road over by St. Charles. And I love walking the trails at Ringwood Forest. I love it because it's quiet, it's tranquil, it's peaceful. And if you're really super quiet and if you tiptoe through Ringwood Forest, you see deer, you see squirrels. Oh, I was gifted with a Swiss roll. Well, thanks, Dad. There's a lot of talking going on here. My throat's getting dry. But you see squirrels, you see deer, you see maybe snakes. I haven't seen any snakes in Ringwood Forest, but you might see a snake. Dragonflies, all kinds of different animals. And they don't hurt you. It's their habitat, it's their world, it's their environment out there, and they act according to their what nature has taught them. If you feel threatened, you take heed to the threat and act accordingly. But I love going out in the woods, and Ringwood Forest is it's a beautiful place. If you are familiar with like Saginaw County in general, Ringwood Forest is definitely a place you want to check out. I love going to Ringwood Forest. It's one of my favorite places to go, just to get away, just to sit on a bench, to relax, to think about things, to let my mind kind of just wander, to think about things that bother me, and then to just let it the fuck go because I don't want to hold on to it anymore. So it's my little getaway place. And if I'm not at Ringwood Forest, I'm probably just out riding around. Like I go to Lansing, I'll drive through Lansing and check out the skyscrapers, or I'll drive out to Grand Rapids. I'll drive to Ann Arbor. I'll go anywhere. I'll even go to Saginaw. And I've been to Saginaw thousands of times, and there's really nothing interesting going on there. But it's still a city nonetheless, and there's still things to see, especially in the downtown area. I go to Flint once in a while. Anywhere other than just sitting around. I need to get out and see things. I need to know that there's life out there. I need to know that there's other people who are, living life. They're commuting. They're doing what they have to do to survive and to live and to make a go of things. I love to get out there and see life happening in real time and not watching through the lens of a camera or watching on YouTube or whatever the case may be. And I know I do that too. Like sometimes when I go with Dad to Saginaw, I'll just pick up my phone and start filming everything I see. And I present that content to you. But I really and truly love just going out and seeing different things. I just absolutely love it. It's just something I enjoy doing. It's something I love to do. And, sometimes it's not so bad sitting around because my entire childhood, I've been a homebody. Like I love being home. But now that I'm older, now that I got a vehicle, now that I have a driver's license, it's like, well, that kind of changes things because I can get out and and see things and see people and see, I can see the things that I hear about on television all the time, like they talk about tourist attractions in the Detroit area. And if I actually were to go to Detroit, which I've driven to Detroit several times, it's a rat race down there, but I've driven there, and all the things that I've heard about, all the places like the Detroit Zoo and Cobo Hall, and even the Joe Louis Arena before that changed to the Little Caesars Arena. I've been in downtown Detroit, and the skyscrapers just everywhere. And it is a huge city. It's very, 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 very big. Actually, what I would like to see in Detroit when I go back is the big what do you call that? The General Motors Tower, where they have all the like all the different things on it, and it says GM at the top. Jesus Christ, they no respect. But I definitely want to check that out. I don't think I've ever seen that up close, but it would be pretty cool to check out. I had to take a bite of my Swiss roll here. But anyway, I have about 5 minutes left in the live stream, and I want to use this time to thank all of you for stopping by. And if you can hear what I'm saying, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you indulging me for this past hour that I've been sitting here already. And maybe next week we won't have them here. But it's something that I do every Sunday. I like to start at 3:00 and I go for about an hour and just kind of talk about random things. And, it's just what I like to do. And I know there's people who are going to watch this and have an opinion about the mask wearing. And that's why I said, well, maybe I should just stop talking about it because it's confusing enough as it is. And I don't want to confuse anybody. But it's confusing to me too. Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic, but the government says that you don't have to wear the mask. You don't have to maintain 6 feet social distancing if you've been vaccinated. But I don't know if like I could see being vaccinated, but I don't know if I would still feel comfortable going out in public and not wearing a mask or whatever the case may be. I don't know. There's a lot of confusion, and I just don't want to put out any wrong signals or wrong messages about the mask wearing thing because I don't want to confuse anybody and I don't want to encourage anyone to break any rules. But if, usually in the businesses I go to, the signs are posted where they say, well, wear the mask, maintain 6 feet social distancing and things like that. I try to stay on the ball. I don't want to break any rules. I don't want to violate any mask order or anything like that. But it's important. It's important to follow the rules all the time. But so we're running against time here. We got about 2 minutes left in the live stream. So again, I wanted to thank all of you for stopping by and watching and for listening to me chat for an hour. And, we're just hanging out. Everything here is good. So that's where we're at with that. As far as the live stream is concerned and as far as life in general goes, unless I get that stimulus check this week, which I'm hoping maybe tonight, I don't know, but hopefully sometime soon I get that stimulus check. Hope you get your stimulus check too, and I hope it is beneficial for you as well. I know I need to get some things fixed on my van. I definitely need to get the van fixed. As I mentioned, now for the third or fourth time I've mentioned this. Idler, or no, not the idler arm. It's the lower control arm and the outer tie rod end. So as soon as I buy the parts, I'm going to pay someone to put it on, which it's not going to be a problem. I'll have the money. Pay someone to put on, then I'll be okay. I'll be all set. Then I got to get it an oil change because I am definitely over on mileage for an oil change for sure. Got to get the oil change. So there's got to be some things done with the van, but I will definitely take care of that. So before I go, hey, Dad? Hey, Dad, can you come here? Can you come here for a minute? We're going to wrap up the show. Any final words you wanted to say before I wrap this up? It's been an hour already.
Yeah, I just say stay safe and hopefully everybody gets their money they're waiting for.
Yeah, I was just telling the viewers here I could really use it. It'd come in handy for me for sure.
Come in handy for everything.
Yeah. What's that?
I said you can say my outline.
Your outline?
My ending.
Oh, her ending. So generally what Amy usually always says at the end of all these Sunday video updates is peace out and take care and stay safe and all that good stuff. Because she's in the kitchen visiting with our company, current company. So I'm going to wrap this up because I have other things I got to do before it gets dark. I hope you remembered to set your clocks ahead an hour because most people forgot. And luckily, if you run by electronics where everything is done, automatically by satellites, then you don't have to worry about that. But we have, our microwave and coffee pot where we have to manually set the time. And of course, we still have an alarm clock. So I have to manually set those. But we are going to be starting spring this coming Saturday. This is the official last week of winter according to the calendar, but that doesn't mean we still can't get snow. So I'm going to end this live stream. Hopefully next week will be not so noisy. So coming to you from my living room, and I once again, thank you so much for sticking around and for indulging me for this past hour. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. And I will be here next Sunday, same time, 3:00. And there will be more content to come on this channel. So make sure you share my videos out. And remember what I said about trolls on the internet. Listen to the Daily Rant recording. Listen to that and take it in, all of it. It's about a half hour long. Listen to what I'm saying because it's going to help you in the long run. So much love to all of you. Take care and have a wonderful week. Peace out. See you later. Toodaloo.